Alright, what's up guys? It's Noah Kinsman here. We're going to be doing an in the bag, obviously, as requested by many of you. So, before we actually get started with what's in my bag, I want to tell you about one of our sponsors. No, I'm just kidding. No, but for real, let's get into the bag. Before we actually get to the discs though, I wanted to show you guys a little bit about my bag. So I actually have the Dynamic Discs Trooper. This puppy fits about 18 to 20 discs in there. She is doing well for me so far. I haven't gotten to play with her much, but I already got her super dirty. In the side pouch here, obviously we got our microfiber cloth, very cool. Actually, we got a couple in there, just in case you're with a less experienced player and you're on a money day and they do not have one with them. I also have in a side pouch here, a disc golf disc retriever, because everybody's gonna be throwing those bad shots, and why not have something that extends to 14 feet and can grab it in the water? So that's super cool. There, I've got some other attachments for that, just depending on whatever scenario it is that you lose it. Hopefully you shouldn't need that too much this season, because we're throwing some good shots, obviously. We are gonna be learning though. Big learning curve here. This in the bag is definitely a little premature. I haven't gotten much field work in. It's about 10 degrees outside right now. And even if I was getting in field work, none of my discs would be flying the same. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to wait until probably late February, maybe early March to get in some sessions, depending on weather. So let's start with our putters. Putter pouch, I've got the Wizard. I've been putting with this since I started playing disc golf, and absolutely hate it. It's a terrible putter. I thought it looked cool. It's got a shiny gold stamp. Gandalf's on there. I mean, what more could you want out of a disc when you don't know anything about disc golf? Terrible putter. Don't recommend it to anyone. I don't know why people like it. I finally just realized that it's terrible. So the putter that I'm planning on using and getting more of this season is the Discmania Link. Now, this has been my inside disc for a while, which means I don't bring it outside and I can just play with it inside and throw it on the bed and stuff, and Marissa doesn't get mad, like, hey, you're throwing a dirty disc everywhere. So this has been my inside disc until I actually I was feeling it, just holding it all the time inside. Really comfortable. I got really comfortable with it, so I started putting with it and actually really, really like it. So this is what I'm going to be putting with this season. Got to get a couple more of those. But let's move on to approach. Disc putting, approach, throwing putters, all in that same category, I guess. Well, we'll start off with the Envy. Obviously, got to have an Envy. This is new to the bag. Haven't thrown this in warm weather yet. But I threw it a couple times, and it was pretty nice. I think I'm going to really like it this season. For those approach, when I need to just power and approach. What I also have been throwing a lot is the Zone. Controversial choice, I understand sometimes. I personally am a big Zone guy. And this isn't just any Zone, it's a Get Freaky Crystal Flex Brodie Smith Zone. So, I mean, what's not to like about that? That's super cool. Additionally, I've got the Sky God. Now, I love Simon Lizotte, huge Simon Lizotte fan. This is actually probably coming out of the bag just because I don't really want to throw it. And I also am bad at throwing it. I just don't understand. It's a little too domey. My hand, it doesn't feel quite right when I grip it. And I can just never get a good shot off of it. And I can throw pretty much everything further. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll play around with it a little bit. We'll see. This is definitely debated in the bag pick. But let's move on up to our mid-ranges. I am only bagging 2 mid-ranges right now. The first, Buzz. UV Photon Buzz from Foundation. This is the one that you hold it out in the sunlight, it's going to turn purple. Super sick. I absolutely love the Buzz. I think it is a great disc. I can't say enough good things about it. I know some people think it's overrated. Personally, I think it is perfectly rated. It just is an absolute workhorse for me, and I can throw this thing, and this might just be a problem that I'm having with my form, but I can throw this thing just as far as some of my drivers. So, I don't know. It goes dead straight, holds any line. I put it on. It's a phenomenal choice for any disc golfer to have in their bag. in my opinion. And then I've got pretty much, well, let me see here. Yeah. This is pretty much Latitude 64's Buzz, the Claymore. I'm just putting this in the bag because it looks super cool. And if I lose my Buzz during a round, I'm going to be throwing this. And I'm just going to be throwing it to just show it off pretty much, you know, because it's cool. So, yep, let's move on up to our fairway slot. I'm only bagging 2 fairway drivers currently. I've got my Leopard, my Star Leopard has been an absolute workhorse. Some dude gave this to me brand new on a course because I said that I wanted one. We just played a random round together. And he gave this to me, and it's been just a beautiful disc. Love it so much. Flips up, rides perfectly. I can get it to turn over. I've even thrown rollers with it before. It's just the perfect disc for me, and it was really crucial for me learning my backhand form, and it's going to be really crucial for me relearning my backhand form this season as well. So yeah, that guy's always going to be in the bag. And then I also have a Maverick that I found, Dynamic Discs burst plastic. Maverick, I found this one at Oakwood on the fairway, just laying there. And this is probably one of my favorite discs. I don't know if it's just because I like how it flies or I got it when it was just beat in perfectly, but this thing is ridiculously flippy for me now. Yeah, and it says understable fairway driver on it too. Its numbers are 7.4, -1.52, but it's ridiculously beat in. Super flippy. I can get this to flip up and just throw a beautiful shots with this. This is probably my favorite disc that I have in my bag right now, just because of how it flies. I'm pretty sure it's just the way that it's seasoned, and if I got a brand new one of these, I would hate it. But yeah, I would be really sad if I lost this guy. Moving on to our, I would say control drivers. You might call some of these fairway drivers too, but these are pretty much fairway control driver slot. They're all faster speeds than those other ones. So I've got a Gateway Discs Diablo. I'll be honest, I got this thing because the stamp on it is freaking sick, okay? Just nothing more you could want out of a stamp and just a presentation on this disc. I really figured out that I could throw, it's a 9.5, -5.2, and you really feel that 5 glide in there. I can just throw a really nasty straight forehand with this. Similar to like when I first picked up a Tesla and started forehanding that, that's what this feels like. It feels like that on a forehand. So I usually throw this on a forehand. Also really nice for backhands too. Just a great disc. I love that one. Then I've got a ThoughtSpace Omen. ThoughtSpace Omen. Now, this is kind of like a Firebird equivalent. Pretty good for just throwing a saucy little flick out there. Great disc. I still have to play around with this. Again, a lot of these discs are discs that I've gotten over the winter and haven't had a lot of good opportunity to really learn or throw a bunch. So this is going to be in the bag for the time being. Star Roadrunner. Pretty good disc. I was throwing some rollers with this and really liking it. I'm really trying to throw flippy this season because I've been throwing way too overstable my whole career. So we're going with the Roadrunner, -4 good flip, throwing rollers, you know how it is. Undertaker, everybody tells me Undertaker's great. I've only thrown it in the winter and just cannot figure it out, and I think that it's because my form is really bad right now, so something I need to work on. But I'm really hoping this summer to just absolutely nuke this ESP Undertaker on some drives. Then I've got the Insanity. Also got this during the winter. Got to play around with this a little bit more. Again, another flippy fairway control driver. Absolutely love it so far, just from what I've thrown of it. Yeah, not much more to say about any of those. They're all, good discs. Let's get on to our distance drivers, though. First up, we've got an absolute necessity, Star Wraith Ken Climo. 12-time world champion Star Wraith, sorry. Very cool disc. This one might get dyed, actually. I'm thinking this one might get dyed, but I am absolutely loving the Wraith. Just a great disc. It was actually my first disc that I ever threw was a Wraith. I still have it. It was a DX Wraith. It is beat to crap. It looks like dogs chewed on it, but they never did. But you know, the Wraith is just a staple. Should be in everybody's bag. Moving on to the Discraft. Paul McBeth, 5 times world champion, now 6-time world champion. Discraft ESP Avenger SS. Okay, now this disc I've definitely had my qualms with. It's been in and out of the bag, but I think I'm going to start the season with this in the bag, and we're just going to see how it goes. I've thrown my second longest drive with this, and we're just going to see if we can consistently replicate that. I think it's possible. I'm not super confident in this disc, but we'll see what happens. It's pretty inconsistent. At least I'm inconsistent with it. I shouldn't blame the disc. My favorite distance driver is got to be this trace that I found. This Sarah Hokum streamlined plastic trace. Or it's Neutron, but or no, it's Cosmic Neutron. Cosmic Neutron, Streamline makes them. Friggin' great disc. This is my longest drive is definitely thrown with this. I throw this mostly on backhand, sometimes on forehand though, but I can just get it to, I put it on a little Anheuser and just throw a beautiful backhand S-line with this one. So this is a great disc. I love it. I love it. I've been talking too long. Let's get to my last two super quick. This is my Ricky Wysocki 2-time world champion Enforcer. I've had this for a couple seasons now. It's super beat in. Just is ridiculously overstable to start out with. It's still pretty overstable, but it's been beat in so much that if Sammy K threw it, he could probably flip it up for sure and get a nice turn out of it almost. Really seasoned. I'd love to have Sammy K try this, see if he'd like it. Even Guido could definitely throw it too, but it's a little fast for me. It still acts pretty overstable. But then finally, the absolute meat hook of a disc. I've got a Nuke in here. This is if I just want to throw a meat hook shot, or if I'm throwing in some massive windy days. Ethan Maurer, my sister's fiance, actually dyed this for me, got it for me for Christmas, so it's definitely going in the bag for the time being. And he was the one that got me into starting to try to dye discs. So yeah, fun little tidbit there. And that is my bag for a tentative bag for 2023. So we'll see you guys out there.